please introduce yourself and tell me what course you teach?
Yes, my name is Andrew Belmont. I'm a professor in cell and developmental biology, and I'm going to be teaching epigenetics for the first time this spring. It'll be launched as a special topics course, 493.
When is your course typically offered?
Well, this is the first time, and we're trying it out in the spring.
Can you give me a brief overview of what is covered in your course? What are the learning goals?
Yeah, the goal is to introduce the topic of epigenetics. And basically, epigenetics is a field that tries to understand how the environment controls gene expression ultimately. And that ties into lots of different things, from cell fate, differentiation, to various medical issues, and even transgenerational inheritance, where you can inherit different traits, or that's been proposed anyway.
What is the format of your course? Are there discussion sections?
This first year is we're going to be doing it as a lecture, and I'm hoping to do it as a combination of traditional and flipped lectures. Some where we basically have a traditional lecture, and in some cases where I'll put lecture notes on the web with reading assignments, and then in class we'll discuss what we've learned and actually discuss experiments and so forth.
Are eye clickers used in this course?
No.
How are students in your course graded? Via exams, quizzes, or homework?
Well, it's still somewhat in progress. I might give a choice to the students at the beginning of the semester, but what I had in mind was 3 equal tests. One would be in the time of the final, but they would essentially be treated 3 equally. And it would be a problem-oriented type exam, essay type exam.
At this point. Are there points associated with attendance?
I've not done that in the past for any courses I've taught. I think that's important for seminar courses, but I haven't thought about that. I think that I do plan to have some type of problem set per week where I'll be not so much grading it, but checking whether people are making an honest effort to try to understand it and to work on it. And that would be used for borderline cases. So to decide if you're at the borderline between 2 grades, I'd probably look to see that kind of effort, plus whether you've attended office hours or basically have worked at the course. And probably that would include attendance. If I noticed that you were not in class, then I'd probably make that part of that borderline decision.
Are there any required textbooks for this course?
I'm still looking into that to try to find a good textbook. I found a couple choices, and one is too dense. It's more of a reference, and one may be right, maybe a little bit light. But I hope to have a textbook because I think that's valuable.
Do you provide students with PowerPoint slides or lecture outlines before class?
I've not done that. I've usually, if I give an outline, it's usually afterwards. I try to avoid PowerPoint presentations, at least I have in the past. That may be used in this course to get through certain material. But a lot of it's going to be discussion of experiment, how we know something, more than just learning a lot of facts. So you'll have to know some of the facts, but a lot of it's going to be on how the science is done. This is still an evolving field where people are trying to understand how things happen and explain them. So emphasis will be on that.
What kind of background knowledge do students need to take this course? Are there prerequisites?
Well, the prerequisites, I believe, are the core series, certainly 250, 252 for the undergrads. And concurrent enrollment or previous enrollment in biochem would not hurt. But other than that, those would be the only prerequisites.
How do topics covered in your course apply to current research, medical, or scientific advancements?
Well, you can just pick up, not even the scientific literature, you can just read the newspaper and you'll see constant discussion over time of epigenetic phenomena. And it covers a wide range of fields, from post-traumatic stress syndrome to things like diet, to things like regeneration biology. It's really become an active part of many different medical fields and health-related fields. So I'm hoping that people will be interested in that, and the course is really to try to understand, to explain how this might work, how the environment can change the action of genes in your cells.
What opportunities do you provide outside of class for students to ask questions or get assistance?
Yeah, well, I always have office hours, and so people are welcome to come to office hours. If they can't make office hours, they can email me to arrange for a time to meet. And hopefully we're going to structure the class, which will involve discussion. I think it's going to take time, but I'm very attracted to the idea of a flip type course where we use lecture time to really get into discussion.
Is there anything else you would like to tell us about your course?
Well, I'll tell you what I told my oldest son, which is you guys will be the first pancakes. So this will be the first time through for the course. I'm excited by it because it's the first time in 27 years I've been here that I get to teach something closely related to what I do. So it's also what I love to learn about. And I hope it'll be a good experience for students and for me as well.
This is kind of off the script, but what previous courses have you taught?
Yeah, so for many years, first 15 or more years, I taught an advanced cell biology class. That was in some ways a predecessor to the 252. It was a little bit higher. It was something that juniors and seniors would take, as well as first-year graduate students. So then, with restructuring of formation of MCB, that course went away, became 252. But I've taught the version of that for a number of years that was aimed at graduate students in MCB. And then most recently, the last several years, I was teaching a writing course for graduate students.